Hi, I'm Michael Smith for Nevada Trails. Today I have a very special show. I have the Devil's Gate Gunfighters, and Deke DeMarzo is going to show me or tell me what's going on with the group.
Well, Michael Smith, it's a pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you for coming. It's very exciting. We've had you on the show a couple of times, but you were with other groups, but this is your own group.
This is my own group. It's actually our group, and I am the founder of the Devil's Gate Gunfighters. We sure do have a lot of fun. Most of the time we get lost in a little bit of the world of comedy. A lot of times we're just on the train to Hades, you know, and we try to entertain people and do the best that we can. And the Devil's Gate Gunfighters are based out of Virginia City. There's only one way to get a hold of us, and that's by our 1800s telephone number.
Woo!
Which is 450-1128, says right there, area code 775. And we don't do that email stuff, and you know, no computers in the 1800s. That's what I'm talking about. And of course, that's our 1800 cell phone number. But any old way, yeah, we've been around the block a few times, and through the corral and down the trail, and a lot of people have seen us before. We wind up robbing a lot of entities such as trains and banks, and we rob whatever we can get our hands on, really. And we do weddings. Sometimes, you know, we have to hang the groom, and yeah, for his own good a lot of times. But
This probably you're not keeping the groom around. You're probably taking the bride then.
Well, we just have to steal the bride, yeah, because you know she makes out better with the Devil's Gate Gunfighters anyway. Because we got some handsome fellers in Devil's Gate Gunfighters. You're looking at one of them right here. And then we got Rattlesnake Dick.
Rattlesnake Dick.
Yeah, he's one of the Devil's Gate Gunfighters, and then we have Billy Mayfield, and he's not here with us today. He couldn't make it because right now he's on the rock pile. But we'll get him out of there soon. And after all, I do have the keys for the jail right here.
Excellent.
And yeah, so we are available. Devil's Gate Gunfighters are available for whoever wants us at that phone number, and a lot of times we can custom deliver whatever your needs are. If you have a special event and you want us to do something special for that event, then you tell us what you want, and we adapt to it, and we streamline it.
So if I wanted a shotgun wedding for my daughter, you could show up with shotguns?
We can do it.
And if I decide I don't want the groom to show up, you could take care of that too?
We take care about anything you want. That's right. Sometimes even double weddings.
Well, as in the Devil's Gate, are you Eugene Blair? Is that your character?
Eugene Blair. That's who I portray, and he was quite a guy. He was a Nevada hero that fell through the cracks because he was just so low profile. He didn't want any notoriety. And now I'm breathing life back into Eugene Blair. He absolutely was a Nevada hero and should be recognized. And he came from Maine, Gardner, Maine, 1865, arrived in Virginia City, and he was a miner for a while, and then he became a Virginia City jailer, Virginia City policeman. And then it went on down to Lincoln County, became a Lincoln County deputy sheriff, where he started to also double as a Wells Fargo shotgun messenger. And he wound up killing two well-known outlaws, one well-known up in Virginia City by the name of A.J. Big Jack Davis, and also down in southeast Nevada, John Carlo. And he wound up killing both of those outlaws, road agents, in two different stagecoach robberies. And so, yeah, Eugene Blair, and he had a serious side and a humorous side, and a lot of times Devil Gate Gunfighters, that's what we are. Pretty humorous at times, or so we're told.
Well, wasn't like he went from the police department to the Wells Fargo because it paid better or something like that?
Well, yeah, actually, he began moonlighting, as we say nowadays, and yeah, the pay for the Wells Fargo shotgun messenger was a tad bit higher for a or compared to a law enforcement officer. And so he did arrange it to where he did both, and actually therefore had police powers as Wells Fargo shotgun messenger, and they had semi police powers anyway. But we're also involved with the 601 Vigilantes up there.
Excellent.
That's right, and what we do up there, you know, for those of you who don't know who the 601 Vigilantes were, they actually did exist back in the 1800s. And there's a little argument. Everybody wants to claim ownership of the origin of 601 Vigilantes, such as Truckee, Virginia City, and Bodie. But they were in all three of those cities. And the 601 Vigilantes, number 6, stood for 6 feet under. The 0 stood for no trial. And the number 1 stood for one rope, 601 Vigilantes.
Well, sir, let's get to meeting some of your fellow gunfighters, and we'll be right back.
Sounds very good.
Hi, we're back, and Deke's going to tell me more about his fellow gunfighters.
Well, Michael, this is Rattlesnake Dick. And he sure was a character in many ways back in the 1800s. He certainly was connected with the Comstock, and I'm going to hand the microphone over to Rattlesnake right now. He's going to tell you a little bit about his life.
Is it safe?
Well, probably not.
Oh, no.
Okay, with the Devil Gate Gunfighters, I portray Rattlesnake Dick. His name was John Richard Darling. And he arrived in Virginia City in 1859, right after the discovery of gold and silver. And he was pretty much a drunkard and a womanizer. And I got drunk one night in the summer of 83. And I woke up the next morning with a hangover, and I apparently joined the Army.
Oh, wow.
At Fort Churchill. So after my hangover got a little better, I actually was kind of proud of it. I wanted to be a soldier. So I went to tell my wife what I did. I joined the Army, and she called me a fool, and we got in a big fight. And she refused to move to Fort Churchill. So I went back to the fort. Then a few months later, I was getting kind of romantic. I wanted to go visit my wife. So I knocked at the door, and she met me at the door with a double-barrel shotgun.
Ooh,
and she
communication.
She unloaded both barrels into my left chest, and somehow I survived.
Direct
They
communication.
took me back to the fort and patched me up. Well, in 1866, my term was up in the Army, so they let me go. And about a year from then, we were at the saloon, and there was a man there named Macaulay in the saloon. And I'm sitting there, and a friend of mine, Woods, comes in, and he gives me a note that a friend of mine was sick down in Washoe City. So I left right away. And a couple hours later, Woods shows up in Washoe City and says he had a little trouble at the saloon. And him and Macaulay were playing cards, and Macaulay lost all his money.
Ooh.
So he pulled a knife on Woods.
Bad idea.
Yeah, Woods hit him in the head with a whiskey bottle. And so he was telling me about it. He says, it's getting too hot around here, so I have to leave the territory. So I didn't think much about it. And the next morning, the sheriff showed up down in Washoe. And he had a warrant for me and Woods. And I had nothing to do with it. But they couldn't find Woods, so I took the blame for it. And I got sentenced to 14 years in prison.
Whoa.
That was the stiffest sentence at the time for that type of crime because they wanted to make an example of someone because the crime was so bad in Virginia City. So I'm in prison for 5 years, and then I get pardoned because the judge convinced the governor that I was innocent, because I was. So.
But you might have had some crimes from the past that maybe
Oh, no. I was,
kind of helped you get in trouble.
I deserved everything I got. And after I got out of prison, a couple years later, me and another friend of mine, we robbed Colonel Stone down in Silver City.
Oh, didn't learn your ways.
No. And so I was convicted of that crime, and I went to prison for 10 years.
Ooh.
And about the middle of it, well, I was there for 8 years. And the guy I robbed Stone with, he attacked me in the quarry. So I killed him. And I was never prosecuted for that because the warden decided that I did it in self-defense. So after I got out of prison, it was a couple more years after that, I decided not to go back to Virginia City because I get back in my old ways. So I decided to make an honest living And I went and became a brakeman on the Carson, Colorado Railroad. And I lived in Hawthorne at the time. I had an argument with this guy in a bar. We accused each other of stealing money from a prostitute. And I didn't think nothing of it until the next day. He approached me on the street, shot me in the face,
Oh, jeez.
and put 2 more bullets in my dead body. And that's how Rattlesnake Dick met his demise. And I had a good life. I spent a lot of money on, most of my money, on women and whiskey. And I wasted the rest.
Oh, jeez.
So that's the story.
So come to see Rattlesnake at Virginia City and get more of these stories. We'll be right back with another character.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down mountainside, the summer's gone and all the roses dying. It's you must go, and I must buy. But call me back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow, and I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so.
Hi, we're back, and it looks like we have a sheriff in town.
Yes, Dr. Eliza Cook.
Well, this is Dr. Eliza Cook of the Devil's Gate Gunfighters, wearing a badge today, but really was a doctor back in about, what year was that?
1878.
1878. I'm going to give the microphone to the good doctor here. She's wearing a badge today because I hear that there might be some shooting going on in a little while. So take it away.
Well, with these guys, they have to have their own doctor because there's always something going on, either some girl's problems or wife problems or Confederate problems, so they need their own doctor. So,
Makes sense.
yeah, Dr. Eliza Cook, I was born in Salt Lake City. My mother and my sister and I moved from there because my mother just really didn't like my dad having more than one wife. So,
Ooh.
like the rest of these guys here. So we moved to Nevada. And I got to like in the medical field, so I went through some troubles. But I did intern with a doctor in Sheraton, Nevada. And I learned through him that I have knack for taking care of people. So being one of the first, not the first, but one of the first women that was licensed to practice medicine in Nevada, I delivered babies, and as you can tell, with gunfights and wives and girlfriends and all that other trouble, kept me pretty busy. I do have a funny story to tell. It was a snowstorm, and I got word that one of the rancher's wives was, ready to deliver, and
Oh, wow.
it was really a nasty storm. My horses couldn't make it, carriage couldn't make it, so some of the gentlemen that lived in town offered to hook themselves up as my team.
Excellent.
Yeah, and got me there. Well, I was also very much into temperance with demon alcohol. Bad.
Ooh.
So the farmer came out and offered the gentleman some whiskey, and before I delivered the baby, I had to tell these guys stern warning about that stuff that wasn't good. I was lucky at that time that they stuck around. But delivered the baby, they hooked themselves up, took me home, and I was just fine.
Excellent.
I never did marry, thank God, after hearing what these guys have gone through. And I died alone in
Oh.
93, but practiced medicine all that time.
Well, fantastic.
Yeah,
As a
it was a-
coincidence, my great-grandfather was Sheridan they named the town after.
There you go.
Yeah, so you never know. It's a small town.
They very much so. Yeah, but I lived happy and took care of people, and as you can tell, these guys need taken care of. So I
Well,
did well.
what type of injuries did you specialize in?
Mostly babies and a lot of gold mining injuries. You know, miners with black lung and that kind of thing. That was pretty much my business, was taking care of that kind of thing. I did do quite a bit of gunshots,
Ooh.
but living in Sheraton was pretty peaceful, so I did good.
Well, when I was in Virginia City, it seemed like there's a lot of gunfighting there.
Well, there was a lot of shooting going on. It wasn't Hollywood gunfights, that for sure, but they were running gunfights, spill out onto the street, run down the street shooting at each other. Yeah, it wasn't always pretty, that's for sure.
Well, if you get shot, is this your own pure darn luck for being in the wrong way, the wrong place, at the wrong time?
Often that was the case, yeah.
I knew that was a law in Bodie. I wasn't sure about Virginia City.
Oh, yeah, they were sister cities in quite a few ways, yeah, you bet. So.
Well, when you do the reenactments, do you, somebody gets shot, you go down and help them, or what?
Oh, they're on their own.
Because you're wearing a sheriff's badge now, so
That's
do you
right.
do you like shoot them too?
Oh, yeah.
And then fix them?
No. They're on their own.
You're gonna give me an all-purpose doctor. You're under arrest.
Yeah, that's it.
You'd be like Marcus Welby, you know.
Yeah.
He backs him over with the car, and then he fixes them.
Fix them again. No. Once I shoot them, that's it.
Well, how'd you happen to choose this character?
I got to, thank you, looking for who I really was interested in, and I had a hard time with trying to find the right character.
Well, your dress is perfect. I mean, you're in period pieces, because I know one thing people I've talked to, they said they try to find a character that's the right size and frame for.
Yeah.
And you
She
match
was a-
her?
Yeah, she was a small woman herself. She wasn't very tall or statuesque by any means. I'm the shyest of our group, so and that's what she was too. She was kind of like
Excellent.
very diminutive, very quiet, but very outspoken when it came to alcohol.
Excellent.
So she-
Well, we're going to go and meet another one of your gunfighters, Deke, and
Alrighty.
let us know what we can do to be more accommodating.
Oh, you bet, you bet.
We'll be right back. Thank you very much. Hi, we're back, and Deke, who do we have now?
We have Laura DeFair, also known sometimes as Shirley Misbehavin',
Oh,
the mayor of Virginia City.
a misbehaving mayor.
Take it away.
Well, now, Eugene Blair, I understand you got to Virginia City in 1864, right around the time I was arrested.
Past 64, 65, I heard all about you, that's for sure.
Well, I know, sir, if I had met you, I surely would not have forgotten it.
Well,
Now,
can
I don't know what the
understand that.
ruckus was about. I mean, I was just down south. I am a good southern girl. And then hooked up with the successionists and thought, well, Lord, I'll be part of taking the gold and the silver from the Yankees. So I got me a job at the Tahoe House Hotel on C Street in Virginia City.
Heard all about it.
That's right. And unfortunately for me, I was up there minding my own business, walked out in the balcony just as I see a Yankee pull up on his horse. He had the nerve, don't you know, to raise the Yankee flag. Well, that upset me quite a bit. I went out and said, sir, surely as I stand here and as I live and breathe, you do not take that flag down, I'm going to shoot you dead. Well, he starts laughing at me. You know how that goes over with me, don't
Here's a
you?
mistake.
And he had no idea who's in my hotel. So I said, sir, surely you do not know who I am. And he says, I don't think I really care. And I said, oh, that's a big mistake.
That's a bad
I
Yankee.
went in the balcony into the great room and said, boys, I need your help. We walked out on that balcony, and I stood over there, grabbed a gun from the closest gentleman to me, and I shot him right off that horse. Well, I don't know what the big deal was. I mean, I was only arrested for attempted murder. I did not kill the feller. But of course, they have to haul me off. But don't you know, my reputation comes from I caused the biggest skirmish in the history of Virginia City and the Civil War because I got the boys to be fighting on C Street.
Excellent.
Well, don't you know that Fort Churchill has to ride out and break up such fight. Now, unfortunately for me, I was in the jail cell. I missed the whole gory, bloody thing. I love to see them Yankee boys on the ground. Well, I do understand that Fort Churchill chased off all the Southern people. They took them, the secessionists, back in my hotel, and then rode the Yankees. They had to ride out of town. Well, just about the time that the Yankees are out of town, fellow takes his pocket watch up and he goes, well, Lord, it took him a day and a half to get here. It's going to take him at least that long to get back to Fort Churchill, I say we resume the fighting. And don't you know I missed the whole thing?
Again?
I was so upset. Well, you know, Eugene, my reputation did precede me because, you know, after I got arrested, I got this fine, upstanding, real powerful lawyer from San Francisco. Oh, he was a handsome one, this fella. Well, he don't tell me that he's married with children.
Ooh.
So we get to carrying on, and we're going back and forth, back and forth. Well, don't you know that right after my trial starts, I find out when I'm in San Francisco, this fella's got a family and a bunch of kids and a wife. Well, that didn't set right with me at all. So I hopped me on that ferry, grabbed my friend's shotgun, found him on the ferry, and shot him dead.
Was he a friend of rattlesnakes?
No, I don't know. But the unfortunate thing for me was I got arrested again. Well, I'm just trying to defend myself, poor little old me. I did not know he was such a scoundrel. Well, don't you know, the saddest part of my life, I never did marry, but I was the first woman in the state of California on death row. Now, don't you know, that's just something else.
It is.
And I miss this fine lawman. He could have arrested me, honey, anytime he wanted.
That's right, could have had me, but you took the wrong road. Not only that, you were the only female that was a member of the Knights of the Golden Circle.
Well, I
That's
didn't
for
want to
sure.
tell everybody that, but that,
Well.
you know, being in Virginia City and like the gentlemen really liked me. The miners decided to call me the mayor of Virginia City.
Excellent.
The miners they voted me in, but you know, the ladies didn't like me much. But you know, I thought they had it all right. Well, I found out so many secrets as these boys would come through town. Now, they did not know who was hiding in my hotel, and I wasn't going to let them know. Our secret society was safe with Lord DeFair, don't you know?
Yes, he was.
Well, Deke, this has been a fantastic group. It's time to give out your phone number so people can call in.
All right, well now, if you need us, Devil's Gate Gunfighters come along brighten your day. 775-450-1128. And you tell us what you need, and we'll negotiate and take care of business. Come on, you Bill. That's the best, easiest robbery we ever
Wait
did.
just a darn minute. I just got a telegram that you two boys just robbed my city bank. And you know how I know it's you? They described them as ugly and uglier. That's right.
That couldn't be us.
That couldn't be us because we're two good-looking fellas.
Darn tootin'.
Oh boy, I think I want the mirror you're looking at. Now get over here.
What about that with you?
What? Look what we got here. Look what we got here, Rattlesnake. We got two lady law dogs.
Come on, pretty little sow.
You know I stole the keys from your jail.
What? We've been looking for those. Oh, we got. Get over here. Get over here.
I'll tell you, what are you gonna do anyway if we did rob the bank?
They won't do nothing.
You know what you're gonna do? You're probably gonna go home and cook us an apple pie.
Now wait just a darn minute. I might get you baked, but it won't be for any pie, son. Now get over here.
What do you want?
We didn't rob
I
nothing.
want to see what's in your bag.
You tell me, Rattlesnake.
We just came down to Virginia City to do our laundry. The laundry lady says if we don't bring them in more often, they stink too bad, and she won't
No,
wash
of course.
But you two pretty little sows can wash them for us.
Oh, no.
Let's get out. Come on.
Now get over here.
What?
I want to see what's in that.
You just go get it.
They're not listening.
All right.
Give me those. We can prove that this is ours. Everything in that bag is ours. Everything in there fits us.
right.
And there ain't no money in that bag.
That's right.
And let me show you. See? It fits me.
That looks good.
It fits me. See?
No, I don't believe you. Lord, don't
We proved that.
Hey!
Come on,
That
Rattlesnake.
thing moves, I'm going to shoot it. What? I'm going to shoot it.
Hey, wait a minute.
If it moves.
You better not put a hole in my trapdoor.
What'd you say?
She's gonna put a hole in my trapdoor.
Oh, I thought you said something else. This is a family show.
That's
you know?
right. That's
Oh,
right.
come on.
Now, wait a minute. Get
Now, what
over
do you
here.
want?
We're not convinced. We want to see what's
I
in
know
that
my
bag.
money's
Oh, you just don't get it. How about that,
Give me those. I can prove that this is ours too, cause it fits me. See?
They're pretty
That's
good.
right. Wait, wait. Did he lose
That's
the
right.
right there?
All right. Now, come on, let's go.
Get over here. Oh, I am not convinced. I want to see what's in that bag, and I want it now.
All right.
Still ain't listening. Whoa.
Oh, hey.
Oh, you wouldn't have cared about the stench, boy.
This is ours, and we can
like to meet the lady that owns this big old brazier, I'll tell you that. Darn tootin'.
I think she's coming right through the door.
Yeah,
right
I
there.
see her.
Okay, no sneaking away. Now get over here. I'm done with these shenanigans. Show me the money.
You go get it. All right. The only thing we got left in this bag
What?
is our teddy bear. That's right. That's right.
Big
That's our bear.
Bob and his teddy bear.
You better not make fun of our bear.
I bet they even suck their thumbs still.
Oh,
You better not make fun
Ooh,
of
I
this
see.
bear. Keeps us company when we're on the on the trail. That's right. On the trail.
oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
So don't make fun of us. Come on. Come on.
Hey, get over here.
You know what?
What?
You two ornery old law
That's
hogs.
right.
You pushed me a little bit too far.
Oh, yeah?
That's right. You know what happens now?
Oh, what? I'm
I
dying.
don't want to do it, Rattlesnake.
What?
But you know what happens now?
What?
The bear gets it!
Oh,
Not the bear!
no.
That's right. Should the bear get it?
Hey.
The bear gets
No,
it.
just take a breath. Calm down. Relax. We don't need to hurt the bear.
The bear still gets it.
Oh, no.
You know what?
What?
I wouldn't want to have this bear stuffing on my hands
Ah.
like you're going to have it on yours.
Honey, don't worry. When we're done with you, you're going to be stuffing everywhere.
What?
That's right.
I won't let him hurt you, really.
Really?
What? Ah! Oh, no! Oh!
Oh, jeez.
Oh!
What's he doing?
I don't know. I don't know.
He's making out with a bear.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
He's okay!
Oh,
He's
oh,
all right!
Hey, get out.
Why, you bear scarers!
What?
You teddy bear abusers!
Yeah.
You bearophile!
What?
Well, that's
You know what I'm gonna do? For you guys making this bear scared, you know what's gonna happen?
What?
I'm gonna make you dance!
Oh, okay.
Not together!
Oh,
You just can't
Separate.
step it. How do you do step it?
Well, I'll show you. Prepare to dance! You shoot a little hard. You might get us out of this mess. You're supposed to be dead. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Oh, big bad law dog and his itty bitty bell. What are you gonna do? You're out of bullets, smart guy.
Yeah?
Oh, does the bear have a little derringer in there?
Well, he doesn't have a little derringer, but this bear knows Kung Fu!
What?
What?
I think this is kung fu, if you ask me. Oh, boy.
I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to get out of here. I'm gonna shoot you in your cheeks.
That's right.
Shoot me in my cheeks!
Not those
So you
cheeks.
better
Those
get you to run.
Wait, I'm gonna... Don't hurt the bear!
Oh, don't worry about the bear.
Don't hurt the bear! Remember.
3.
What?
What the? I wonder if the bear.
Check the bear, check the bear.
I'll check the bear. Oh, the bear's all
Oh,
right.
thank goodness. Hey, what's
Yeah.
up with this guy? He doesn't look a dead
Oh,
guy to
he
me.
doesn't look dead to me. Hey! I didn't do it.
Oh, yeah, I suppose kung fu did.
It